Objection! Hello everybody, Zachman18 here. Welcome back to the WTZM TV channel 18 Superstation. It is time to continue on with our Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies on Nintendo 3DS. We are on episode 2, The Monstrous Turnabout, and from the looks of it, it looks like we're going to finish up the episode today with our second day of trial. I think we're going to try to convict LaBelle of him being the actual killer. So, let's jump right into it. Day 2, court is now in session. All rise.
Court is back in session for the trial of Damien Tenma.
Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor.
Athena Sykes, assistant defender, is ready too, Your Honor.
I'm not going to read that.
As chipper as ever, I see, and in French no less. And the prosecution?
And his hawk again.
Very well then. By the way, I asked Detective Fulbright to provide sturdier shackles today. There'll be no more of your funny business this time, Prosecutor Blackwell. Now your opening statement, if you would. I believe it's standard procedure for the prosecution to handle it.
Looks like the judge is really bringing it today.
You probably realized how Blackwell played him. That was one mean game of Simon Says.
Yeah, His Honor has to fight to defend his honor today.
Your baldness. It's plain to see that you've always dreamed of delivering an epic opening statement.
I have? I don't know if I'd say that.
Why, of course you have. I saw it in your eyes the last time you gave the opening statement.
That was the look of one
of you years deeper from the thrill of an epic opening statement. For decades now you've been watching opening statements from your bench. They were the crown jewels of the court. The one thing you could not possess.
The crown jewels of the court?
Now at long last they are within your grasp. How could you possibly refuse?
So you don't mind if I do it then?
I'll make a special exception, just this once.
Here we go again.
Yep, more Blackwell's mind games.
Well, in that case, I think I might go ahead and make the opening statement myself. In yesterday's session, we learned that the shocking truth that the victim Alderman Rex Cuba was the Amazing Ninetales. We also learned that the Amazing Ninetales was a key figure in the Yokai craze and anti-merger protests. It was further revealed that upon learning Rex Cuba's secret identity, Mayor Damien Tenma murdered him. The fact that the crime took place in a tightly locked room was also brought to light. And the only people in that tightly locked room were the defendant and victim. The defense proposed the existence of a hypothetical third party, but further investigation revealed no proof of a third party who had escaped the room.
Ergo,
we must conclude that the evidence against the defendant is, well, conclusive. Did I say something wrong?
That was quite astonishing. You've truly outdone yourself this time.
One more thing to boast about to my grandchild.
Well, this was not an unexpected turn of events.
Now then, it seems the prosecution has called a new witness to testify.
The inexplicable yokai evidence left at the scene of the crime. Well, does that not demand some sort of explanation?
The feathers and tracks? Weren't those left by the mayor while he was possessed?
That was but an act to protect his daughter.
Yes, of course. I suspected as much.
Wait, did he actually believe the mayor's award-winning performance? His daughter was the one who planted the yokai evidence. Ergo, the true identity of the yokai in the manor was the manor's maid, Jinxie Tenma.
Objection!
The prosecution is engaging in mere conjecture. Would you care for some witness testimony then? For I am ready to prove that the little scamp is the one behind the Tenma tarot farce. Witness testimony? I'll bet he means Filch and that creep LaBelle.
Very well then. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness?
Phineas.
Mr. Filch, you made quite the hasty exit yesterday. See that it doesn't happen again today.
Been known for my hasty retreats since I was a kid. Bit of a trademark of mine.
Indeed. You managed to give a total of 5 bailiffs the slip.
Like those amateurs could ever nab me. Yeah.
Perhaps we should shackle you by the neck. That would keep you in place. Yeah, no, please. I'm liable to rip my own head off if I start running. Your statement, now. Yes, sir. Mr. Blackhead, sir.
He may be in a hasty retreat, but there's no escaping Prosecutor Blackwell.
Yeah, Blackwell doesn't strike me as the give-up-easy type.
Now then, Mr. Filch, your testimony, please. Specifically, the true nature of the yokai you saw in the manor shortly after the crime.
Alright. Here we go.
Tenma was really that little maid gal. Ain't no doubt about it. I mean, the Tenma I saw was just a little thing about her size. But the little runt had a big old staff. I seen it when she came into the foyer. Betcha she stole it from the Forbidden Chamber after stumbling on the crime scene. She was gonna use it to wallow me on account of my fierce reputation. I just know it.
How could she get in the Forbidden Chamber without the key? Because we got that from Tenma, not Jinxie. She didn't have a key, and the key that we have is the only one that can get in with it.
So Tenma was short in stature, and that's because it was Miss Jinxie Tenma all along?
You betcha. Besides, all the rest in the manor were way taller than her. Feigning height is but an easy thing. Oh, the owl freaks out when he does that. But a big ox like the defendant can never pass for short. What if the Tenma impersonator was walking on their knees?
We're no knee walking. I've seen it myself.
Then
perhaps that yokai really was Miss Tenma after all.
All monsters are not but tricks, either of the mind or the cheap parlor variety.
So you're saying she created an illusion like one of those magical eye things?
Precisely. Human senses are easily deceived. Take the fellow in the cell next to me. Each night he cries and screams about some ghost he thinks he sees. But in truth, it was simply the janitor.
Ho ho ho! Prosecutor Blackwell just gave up the ghost, literally.
The janitor's deathly complexion and all-white attire are no doubt partially to blame. That and the fact that he constantly mutters about taking vengeance for this or that. That actually sounds like a real ghost to me.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Alright. So that's what we got to present on. Tenma was the only one, was the one who had the only key to the Forbidden Chamber, so there's no way she could have gone in. You are wrong, my friend. Objection! It would seem that Tenma was, in fact, not this innocent little girl.
Huh? How you figure that?
You claim the Tenma you saw had one of those staves from the Forbidden Chamber. But it would have been impossible for Miss Tenma to get a hold of one.
Care to elaborate, Mr. Justice?
The mayor swallowed this key shortly after the murder. He wanted to keep the killer out of the Forbidden Chamber. What's this? This key was deep in the mayor's stomach when Miss Tenma discovered the crime scene, so you see it would have been impossible for her to get into the Forbidden Chamber. In short, the Tenma seen holding that staff could not have been Jinxie Tenma.
What?
Alright.
But then who does the defense believe was impersonating Tenma?
Our Tenma impersonator is none other than Mayor Tenma's aide. Sorry. I thought it was going to be Alderman again. Such accusations beg evidence. Aside from his ghastly appearance, can you prove he is the yokai we seek? Yes, in fact, I can.
Very well, let's see where the defense is going with this. Mr. Justice, please show us proof as to the true identity of the Tenma impersonator.
Oh yes, the hand cream. Take that! We found this hand cream in the Forbidden Chamber. And we know that whoever was Tenma took one of the stabs out of there. In short, I believe whoever this hand cream belongs to is the yokai impersonator we're looking for.
But Mr. Justice, how do you propose to identify the hand cream's owner?
I'm glad you asked, Your Honor. The defense requests a fingerprint analysis on this piece of evidence. It might tell us who it belongs to.
Interesting. So you expect to find the yokai's prints there? Very well. I hereby call a short recess while we wait for the fingerprints results.
No need for that, Your Baldness. We have the prints of everyone at the manor that day. You call Prosecutor Blackwell? Jeez. Could anyone be more whipped? Fulbright, analyze this for prints. You have 3 minutes. Your wish is my command.
Very well then. I guess we'll just wait right here.
would seem the fingerprint analysis is complete.
What do the results show?
What in the world? They're Florent LaBelle's prints, aren't they? This is absurd. Prosecutor Blackwell? I'm not... Why did I do that I don't know. I'm not gonna like this, am I?
Don't tell me. They're Tenma prints?
Fingerprint analysis has revealed that the prints belong to... It better be Florent, or I'm gonna be pissed. Phineas... Oh! Oh my god! Wait, what? What?
Then Mr. LaBelle wasn't the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber.
Oh, wow. Why, you tricksy little tanuki. Explain yourself now. Sure, them prints are mine. I mean, I did pilfer that hand cream from Mr. LaBelle after all. So you're the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber? So what if I did? Got a problem with it? Yeah. You fool of a tanuki. Oh, man.
Order! Mr. Justice, care to explain what this could mean?
Excellent question. The fact that Mr. Filch was in the Forbidden Chamber. Wait a second. Does this mean the Tenma holding that staff was Phineas Filch? Yeah! Another cat out of the bag!
Mr. Filch is Tenma?
Ooh. I don't know about that. I don't understand. Does this mean Mr. Filch is the real killer?
The witness will explain himself at this instant.
Begging your pardon, your honorship, but I was just doing what the alderman told me. He wanted me to be Tenma in the village exorcism ritual. Oh, you mean that event in the Nine Tails Vale Festival? So that was you inside the Tenma costume. Yep, and after the event I went to watch the pro wrestling program. But it bored me to tears on account of the wrestlers being complete jobbers. So we didn't actually watch the entire wrestling match. That's when I looked at the Tenma costume and got a great idea. Nobody can tell it's me while I'm wearing it. And because of them superstitions, no matter what I do, the villagers won't say a word.
In other words, you use the superstitions to effectively render yourself invisible.
Why did you want to enter the Forbidden Chamber in the first place? Because of the treasure there. Thought that was my big chance to sneak on in and nab it. Treasure? Only that's the greatest get-rich-quick chance in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. He went in there not knowing his grandfather had already pilfered it.
Guess that's one tale that didn't get passed down from grandpappy to grandson.
Wait, how exactly did you get into the Forbidden Chamber? There was a meeting in the Fox Chamber that day. Plus the mayor swallowed the only key that could open the Forbidden Chamber's door. You couldn't have possibly gotten in. I got through the air vent in the foyer. The vent's left of the alderman's picture. I went on in and made a nice little hole. Used that to get into the air duct that leads to the Forbidden Chamber I did. You what?
But how's that even possible? Wait a sec. Remember that air vent in the Forbidden Chamber? So Mr. Filch found a way to get into that air duct. And that's how he got from the foyer vent to the Forbidden Chamber vent.
So Tenma was nothing more than a cat burglar, or rather a tanuki burglar, and we're back to being without anyone to charge for the alderman's murder.
Looks like our so-called yokai is nothing more than one big troublemaker.
Tell me, Mr. Filch, what did you do after fleeing to the foyer? I got out of that costume right quick. Would just cause trouble at that point. And where is that costume now? Heck if I know. And it ain't my fault if you never find it. The police searched every nook and cranny. No yokai costume was left in that manor. What if it was tossed outside the manor? Ah. No way. But maybe, just maybe.
The defense seems to have hit upon an idea. Well, go on, Mr. Justice.
Okay, here's what I think. Mr. Filch, did you get rid of the costume here? Oh, there's an open window right here. Ha ha! Take that! Did you toss it out the window? Because that would certainly explain why it didn't turn up inside the manor. You think I tossed it out the window? That costume cost me a pretty penny, so why would I go do something like that? I can think of a few reasons.
Any bright ideas, Apollo?
Well, assuming the costume was tossed out from the window, then the next question would be, what happened to it after that? And if I'm right, I might have just the thing to prove what happened to the costume. Phineas Filch, I have just the evidence for you. You do? This evidence proves you got rid of your Tenma costume through the window. Let me just go through this really quickly. Okay. A newspaper with a photo of Tenma soaring through the air. Oh, could that have been the costume flying out of the window? Take that!
That's Tenma flying through the sky? And just how does that prove Mr. Filch threw his costume out the window?
It's quite simple. That's not Tenma in the photo. It's the costume Mr. Filch threw out.
That's crazy talk. You ain't serious, are you?
There's a steep cliff right outside the foyer window, meaning the manor is pretty high up. The costume flew through the air after it was tossed out. That's when the photo was taken. In other words, the photo of Tenma really was a flight of fancy.
What? Yikes!
That makes much more sense.
Oh my, so there really never was a yokai.
I can't keep any of them cats bagged. Can I still file a claim for the lost costume?
This more than proves the defense's position. Jinxie Tenma had nothing to do with staging the yokai sighting.
Care to raise any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell?
None whatsoever. I'll deal with that tricksy Tanuki after I've dealt with this case. We did it! Good going! Now all you have to do is make Florent LaBelle take the stand. Uh-oh. Sheathing the sword a bit early, are we not? Huh? Nothing has been proven beyond a doubt. Take this tricksy little Tanuki, for instance. How do you suppose he was able to exit the Forbidden Chamber? Probably the same way he got in. Through the chamber's air vent. And what are the feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime? They would suggest that the Tanuki exited through the chamber door, not the air vent. I had to burp there. But the Forbidden Chamber doesn't open from the inside, so what you're saying makes no sense. Right. Right? Someone on the outside opened the door for you. Isn't that right?
Yep, that's right, Mr. Blackjack. The door suddenly sprung right open.
Sprung right open? Who was on the other side?
Didn't get a good look on account of the sudden glare.
Like how the reflection from my head blinds fellow moviegoers emerging from the dark?
That's when I snatched that staff and made my daring escape. And then that little maid gal spotted me as I hightailed it down the hall.
That means the Forbidden Chamber wasn't open until after the crime was discovered.
But wait, we still don't know who opened it. Maybe there really was a third person in the Fox Chamber.
Objection!
Well, you little Tanuki. When the Forbidden Chamber opened, did you see the accused passed out there?
Nope, only one there was the alderman, and he was dead as a doornail.
If the accused wasn't there, what do you suppose he was up to? Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going.
Don't tell me.
Plainly, the only one who could have opened the Forbidden Chamber was the accused Damien Tenma.
Wait a second. There had to be somebody else besides Mayor Tenma there.
Really? And who might that be?
Oh, well, that would be...
Objection!
It seems our feisty little lass has forgotten the most important thing. Evidence.
I didn't forget. I was just testing your attention to details.
Miss Sykes, you can't prove your point without proof of some sort. It's a proven fact.
Sorry. Guess I put my foot in my mouth again.
No, we're definitely onto something here.
We are?
Think about it. If Filch was stuck inside the Forbidden Chamber, one of the alibis we heard would no longer hold any water. The defense would like to call a new witness to the stand, someone who knew Mr. Filch was stuck in the Forbidden Chamber, and by virtue of knowing this, has an alibi that no longer adds up. Not that insufferable.
Very well. The court will hear what Mr. Justice has to say. Whose alibi no longer adds up?
Mr. Florent LaBelle. Take that!
Why, that's That's the defendant's aide, Florent LaBelle. Didn't he claim to be in the foyer at the time of the crime?
True, but in his alibi, he also claimed Mr. Filch was in the foyer, too. However, as we all know now, Mr. Filch was not there with Mr. LaBelle at that time. In short, Mr. LaBelle's alibi has disappeared. Florent LaBelle's alibi was one big lie. Isn't that right, Mr. Filch? I reckon there ain't no keeping that cat in the bag here, neither. It was all Mr. LaBelle's idea. He told me he'd button his lip about me breaking into the forbidden chamber, and in return he said we'd vouch for each other's alibi.
Shame on you, Mr. Filch. Perjury is a serious crime, you know.
Ah, shucks. Mercy, your honorship, mercy. I also assert that the person who opened the forbidden chamber for Mr. Filch was none other than Florent LaBelle. After all, his alibi has just been proven to be a complete fabrication.
I see. We will take a 20-minute recess, after which time we will see what Mr. LaBelle has to say for himself.
Yes, we're finally going to drag that slippery snake onto the stand.
In the meantime, the prosecution will question Mr. LaBelle about these new allegations.
Okay. We're getting somewhere.
We did it, Apollo. We finally dragged Mr. LaBelle into court.
Yeah,
Hey, why the long face?
I can't help but feel I'm missing something important. Plus, Prosecutor Blackwell is bound to mount a counterattack.
You really are a worry worn, aren't you? It'll be fine. And that mystery figure who opened the forbidden chamber for Mr. Filch had to have been Florent LaBelle.
I know, but that's not what's bugging me. I wish I could put my finger on it, though.
At any rate, the big showdown with Mr. LaBelle is up next, so chin up, Apollo.
That was a short break. Alright. Ooh, I have a message. Aha. Alright.
Court is back in session. Our next witness is...
Oh my god. I hate this guy.
Yes, I'm acting on behalf of the mayor in this very important matter.
It seems the witness is predisposed at the moment.
Ha ha ha. Surely you jest. I will hold you to your promise, remember that? Oh, my deepest apologies. This is Florent LaBelle, personal aide to Mayor Tenma, or should I say, the accused.
Ouch, like the poor mayor hasn't suffered enough.
Well, what business do you have with me? I'm a very busy man, so let's make this as brief as possible.
Your baldness.
All right. Ahem. Mr. Filch's testimony has revealed a hole in your alibi, and for this reason, you are suspected of having some sort of connection with the case at hand.
Poof, to think I'd be associated with this entirely lurid affair. Well, I'm not, so may I go now? I have a very important matter to attend to.
I don't think so, Mr. LaBelle. Do you realize what a serious crime you've committed?
Witness, you are being accused of perjury. This is your chance to clear the air.
Fine, the truth is I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter. You see, as his personal aide, I felt I had to protect him. Sorry.
I hate this guy. You think this is funny? Without your alibi, you're a suspect too. What were you really doing at the time of the crime?
Peasant, how dare you accuse me, one of the beautiful people, of being... Stop stalling and tell the court what you were really doing at the time of the crime.
Silence.
Oh boy. Enough jabbering. Swords have been drawn. The time for talk is past. Swords? What swords? This is a duel to the death. The fate of the accused rests on our hands. Begone, ye of cowardly hearts. The battlefield hath no place for ye. Again? Oh my.
Spare me, please.
Oh no, is he free of his shackles again? God dang it. You guys are terrible. So much for sturdier shackles. Oh my god. Those chains hindered my vow that heads would roll this day. This gives keeping your head on in court a whole new meaning. Will the witness please deliver the accused death knell? You know of what I speak. Ha ha ha!
No, certainly. His goose is already cooked. Time to stick a fork in him.
Whatever he has to say can't be good.
As I told Prosecutor Blackwell during the recess, I rushed right over to the fox chamber when I heard little Jinxie scream.
What?
Then, drumroll please, I saw Mayor Tenma opening the forbidden chamber doors.
But there you have it. The mystery man who opened the chamber door, as witnessed by one Phineas Filch. It was the accused. There was never any third party.
Oh, and that's not all. I heard something quite startling there at the scene of the crime.
Startling sounds bad.
The mayor, who was barely conscious, muttered this. Forgive me, Jinxie. I killed the alderman. That's right. The mayor actually confessed to the murder right then and there.
Yikes.
He confessed?
Man, the audience is loud.
Order in the court. This is quite conclusive testimony if it stands.
Just so, and quite astonishing, I might add. I only learned of this fact during the recess.
Ha ha ha! I just love surprises, don't you? That's why I saved the best for last. Consider it a gift from me to you. No way! I don't believe Mr. LaBelle heard the mayor confess.
But is this really true? Did Mayor Tenma really confess?
It is indeed. During that last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. It would seem Mayor Tenma actually did confess.
That testimony is quite favorable to the prosecution's...
This is LaBelle. Yes, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's right. And I'll be calling my little shindig Mayor Tenma's conviction gala. A splendid time it's going to for all but the mayor and his defense. Ha ha ha!
Well, as it seems our witness is a very busy man, let's get right to his testimony. Mr. LaBelle, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime.
Alright. Here we go.
I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadows. That's when I heard the confession. Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Immediately after that, the mayor came to, stood up and opened the forbidden chamber. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end.
I must say, this is a shocking revelation. Quite unexpected. To think the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crime.
So did Jinxie see anybody down there? Because if she saw him... After leaving the scene and calling the police... Oh! She used the phone. So there's no way she could have saw him because she was the one using the phone.
Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter.
You do realize you should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court.
Ha ha ha! Once again, sorry. It's just I feared being accused if I mentioned coming up on that most pleasant scene.
Why did the mayor's confession have to be brought up by this guy?
You better do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty.
As a death row inmate once told me in years gone by, there is a time to fight and a time to yield, a time to live and a time to die. He's laying it on real thick now.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Here we go. There's no way she could have saw him. One with the phone at the end. No. Objection! That didn't work. Objection! Oh boy. For Lord LaBelle, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway. Ha ha ha.
What on earth do you mean?
Yes, care to fill the rest of us in, Mr. Justice?
If Mr. LaBelle had really fled down into the hall with the phone in it, he would have crossed paths with Miss Tenma.
What's this?
After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. Then after making her call, she went back to the main hallway, whereupon she encountered the demon, Yokai, or whatever you want to call it.
As for me, I call it Phineas Filch in a Tenma tarot costume. The encounter happened right here, where the hallways meet. As for Mr. LaBelle, he had fled here, feigning escape from the Yokai imposter. Why yes, the two would have crossed paths. Right, except Miss Tenma told us that there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there. Ah! My eyes! My beautiful eyes! Nice going. Ha, not such a fabulous scent now, is it? But Mr. Justice, the witness also stated that he heard the mayor confess. If he was lying about hearing the confession from the hall, then where was he when he heard it? Inside the Fox chamber. Where else? But isn't that within the very crime scene? It is, Your Honor, and that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time.
What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence!
Foolish fop. A true man knows when he is beaten. A shield of lies come to naught before a foe with the sword of truth bared.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side.
You are mistaken. There are no sides here save for my cold, steely edge of judgment. You are alone upon this battlefield, with naught but your lies and sickly sweet perfume. Whoa, what just happened? Blackwell's really tearing into him. You heard the mayor's confession from the inside, did you not, you deviant dandy? For the sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor and the Tanuki, without either of them noticing you, was right there in the Fox chamber.
Oh my, so that's how it's going to be. Fine, I'll come clean then.
Seriously? You admit to being there in the Fox chamber?
I do. I did enter the room after the murder. But I was afraid of being falsely accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible about lying like that. But it's a verbal cologne I use to protect myself.
You'd better explain yourself, Mr. LaBelle.
Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that.
The witness is skating on thin ice. I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime. Now let's hear your testimony again, this time without your perfume of lies.
Oh my god. Alright, here we go.
I did enter the Fox chamber after the murder, but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. So you see I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen.
From behind the screen? Why yes, I believe you wouldn't be spotted if you were there. Just so he could see everything without being spotted by the victim or that Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say he was mere witness to the events rather than an actual third party. This guy's as slippery as an eel.
Apollo, you think he's telling the truth?
Well, he was in the Fox chamber, so at least that much must be true. The defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness.
Alright, here we go. In the Fox chamber. Start pressing. So I'm a bit confused.
Why in the world would you enter that grisly crime scene?
Why? Because I was worried sick. Mayor Tenma's suit. It
what?
It was designed personally by me. I was worried my work of art might get blood on it.
This man clearly has his priorities in order.
Okay, let's get this over with, shall we? Now where was it? Now where was I? Oh yes, so I entered the Fox chamber almost without thinking.
Why didn't you enter the right away?
And ruin my designer shoes?
Your shoes?
Even now, just thinking about getting blood on my fabulous footwear, it sends chills down my spine. That's why I hesitated. That's terrible. A man was dying and another injured, and you're worried about your shoes?
Silence!
Need I remind you this is a court of law? We are not teaching morality here. We have schools of etiquette and such for trivial pursuits.
Gah.
Now you listen to me, you deceptive dandy. Get to the point and be quick about it.
Yes, well, I was there in the Fox chamber, but
Wait a second. Why did you hide yourself?
oh my, so you do understand.
I do?
By hiding, I was concealing my fabulous beauty, which, for the sake of the universe, is something I should never ever do. That's what you were thinking, right?
I'm sensing a black hole of egocentricity forming around the witness stand. We can deliberate his mental process another time. Get on with the testimony, now.
Well, regarding the murder scene...
Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail?
And what exactly would you like details about?
Well, what I'd like to ask you about is...
the feathers and tracks, the forbidden chamber, or the murder weapon. Let's go with the murder weapon, actually. I want to learn about that.
Could you describe the state of the weapons that have been used at the scene?
Because one of them was missing.
The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Cuby. Then there was that statue the Alderman used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. That incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor.
Oh, right, the statue. But why would he find it inspiring? Why exactly did you find the statue inspiring?
Well, when I saw that statue, I felt as if the merger had been realized. It was like a celebration of the union between town and village. An inspiring symbol of goodwill.
A broken statue next to a bloody corpse. Real inspiring.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider his statement to be of any importance? Is it important?
Yes. It's always important.
I believe that to be extremely importantly. I request that it be added to the testimony.
Alright. I'm pretty sure this is pretty easy right here. Statue had fallen to the floor as a token of goodwill celebrating this murder. I don't think that's what it was for. What was it for? A token of goodwill made in secret. Jinxie is now the only one who knows what the original looked like. A statue traces of blood wrapped. Yeah, since we're on the same subject.
Objection! Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle.
What possibly could you mean?
You said the statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct?
It is indeed, but what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill, as if they were celebrating the municipal merger. Something the matter?
So, how did you really know that this statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill, again?
What?
Justice Dono, explain yourself, and make it quick. This statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret.
A secret? Whatever do you mean?
What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma on the head. What's left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out. The statue's secret in its true form were lost inside that locked room. From Miss Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. LaBelle, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form?
Piffed. What do you mean, where?
The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form. Right there in the room where the alderman was murdered before it was broken. How dare you! Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime? Yes. Yes, I am. Lord LaBelle, I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Cuby. Ah!
Jeez. There we go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Order! Order! Mr. LaBelle, you've been accused of murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
How could you possibly accuse me, the embodiment of beauty? Way to go, Apollo. This is the conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico.
We've got you now. We know you killed the alderman. Now admit it.
Silence.
Blackwell, enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock cannot possibly be the killer. What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence.
Why could he have not seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo.
Yes, that's right. I clearly remember it now. Alderman Cuby told me about it. About what the statue actually looked like. I mean, he was a good friend of mine. Ha ha ha. Yeah, right. He wouldn't show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence.
Moreover, it has already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime.
It has?
Forgotten, have we? Recall the little scamp statement, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox Chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapse there and no one else.
Oh,
Dang it. The fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Thus, Lord LaBelle could not possibly have been in that locked room. Ugh.
no!
Ugh. I just don't get it. How could Jinxie not have seen LaBelle? The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, your baldness?
It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and victim being the only people in that locked room. Moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Objection! Silence!
Oh, how dare you? You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in this charade is over, Justice Dono. But your baldness, this trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It is high time you brought down the hammer of justice.
A point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. This court finds the defendant Damien Tenma.
Aha!
Who said it?
Oh! Caw, 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 caw. It would seem that my time is at hand.
Mayor Tenma?
Counselor, there is a matter to which I must testify. I recall it now only for your good graces.
Counselor? Oh right, he must mean me. Has he finally remembered what happened before that blow to his head? Bailiff, don't just stand there. Seize him.
It's no good, I can't restrain him.
Caw, 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 caw. Know me in despair, for I am Tenma Taro, demon lord of the Yokai.
Mr. Justice, do something.
Since when am I responsible for court security?
Apollo, this is our chance. We might get some new information out of him.
Your Honor, seeing as our client has something new to say, I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai.
When you put it that way. Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world.
Unprecedented and absurdity, more like.
All right then, Mr. Damien Tenma, or should I say Mr. Tenma Taro? Your testimony, please. I shall now speak of recollections most real, courtesy my host, Damien Tenma. Heed these words, mortals, for hear them but once you shall. Caw, 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 caw.
Okay. Kinda hurts my voice a little bit, but okay.
Barely conscious was Damien there amid the darkness. Suddenly two yokai did appear. On one side I, Tenma Taro, ruler of demonkind, and on the other my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox. So is the defendant asserting that the room he was in was very dark at the time? Strange as it may be, yes indeed, all was in darkness.
And the part about Tenma Taro and the nine-tailed fox being there.
Yes, that too. Tenma Taro towered overhead and the nine-tailed fox glittered gold.
I call animal abuse, Your Honor. It would seem the defendant's recollections are not to be trusted.
Yes, well, truth be told, my host's recollections are still a bit fuzzy. As if half dreamt, that happening lingers in his mind.
Apollo, maybe I could help here.
Really? Oh, you mean?
Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart. I sense an unusual emotion in the mayor's memory of the event.
Okay, I just hope our findings don't come back to haunt us again.
Alright, here we go with the mood matrix. Sweet. Alright, let's go. Load it up.
Let's do this. Alright, let's find an unexpected emotion. Okay. Sounds good to me. Suddenly two yokai did appear. Okay, I would be surprised about that too. On one side, I, Tenma Taro ruler. Okay. And on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox. Why is he happy about that? Got it. It's got it for the mood matrix. When the nine-tailed fox appeared, you not only experienced shock and sadness, but also something like joy as well.
Joy? Perhaps it was joy at the light coming to my eyes at long last. A long and terrible creaking did pierce the silence, and then there was light. On reflection, it was a door that did produce that infernal racket.
A creaking door? Oh, you must be talking about the forbidden chamber door. It does make a lot of noise.
So this means the forbidden chamber really was opened. But what about the sudden light he described?
I think I know. He mentioned darkness and Tenma towering overhead. Maybe the mayor wasn't really in the Fox chamber at the time of the crime.
It's the forbidden chamber.
That's the giant statue of Tenma in there. Mr. Mayor, did the darkness that you were in happen to be here? Take that!
The forbidden chamber? Was it not the Fox chamber where the murder did occur?
Yes, but it all makes sense if you were in the forbidden chamber. That terrible creaking sound was probably the forbidden chamber's door opening. And the towering Tenma you saw? Most likely the forbidden chamber's statue.
Why, yes, that would explain it. The darkness and the staff in the demon's grasp.
But even if all that's true, then what about the nine-tailed fox?
Maybe he was seeing things? Just like Jinxie and her imaginary yokai.
Fantastico, Apollo. It's entirely possible. In a groggy, dreamlike state, people can misremember things and events.
Misremember, you say? Let me think. Ah, I do believe I remember now. That was not the nine-tailed fox. It was the Amazing Nine-Tails.
What? The Amazing Nine-Tails?
At first, this is but a dream, I thought. Now, however, most clearly do I recall it. 'Twas the Amazing Nine-Tails who did open the Forbidden Chamber's door.
Alright, noise level 60%, so we still got some noise level in him. I'm sorry I asked.
The Amazing Nine-Tails? But that was the victim, Alderman QB, right?
Yeah, why would he open the Forbidden Chamber? Wasn't he trying to keep it sealed?
Never mind that, this is completely new information. Let me enter and run an update.
Alright, here we go. Okay. Game in there, in the Forbidden Chamber. Okay. Info update. Amid the darkness, a mighty statue of Tenma loomed overhead. Okay, I would be surprised about that too. Suddenly the door did open and a shaft of light did pierce the gloom. Okay. The Amazing Nine-Tails had come to the rescue. See, why is he sad about that? I have no idea. Got it! You shouldn't be sad about that. When the Amazing Nine-Tails opened the chamber, banishing the darkness within, you felt joy, but didn't you also feel shock and sadness?
Yes, in the hazy depths of my mind, I do recollect something of that nature. I believe it was the Fiend's Cape of Red. For when I did behold it, a great wave of sadness did inexplicably wash over me.
20%, okay. A cape of red?
Apollo, we've reduced the noise level. Oh, but there's still a little left.
Mayor Tenma, why were you sad when you saw the red cape?
Why, indeed.
What could this mean?
I guess his memory's still a little spotty. I know because his latest recollection contradicts the evidence.
Yeah, it's one of those contradictions that slaps you right across the face.
Something this obvious could arise when someone is trying to force a fuzzy memory into a definitive shape. Apollo, I know what you have to do. You need to present evidence that contradicts the image you see.
Oh, so it's basically the same as the usual cross-examination process. Okay, time to review the evidence. Look out, contradiction, here comes justice. Barely conscious was Damien there in the... Okay. Let's see here. Into the darkness. Okay. Something doesn't match up with the cape, you said? Okay, the cape. Amazing Nine-Tails had come to the rescue. Okay, a cape of red. So, let's see if there was actually a red cape. I need to find that photo of him. Where is it? Here it is. Is that his cape? No, he doesn't even have a cape. Objection! There we go. You said the Amazing Nine-Tails cape was red. Are you sure about that?
Yes, well, I do believe it was a red cape I saw, but...
Mayor Tenma, does this cape look red to you?
Oh, that certainly does not look red. Not even scarlet or crimson either. Nevertheless, upon my liberation, something red did fill up my as yet hazy field of view. And I thought to myself, the amazing Ninetales is arrayed in a cape of red.
So you mistook that red something for his cape, huh?
Apparently so, and remembering it now brings a great sadness upon me.
So the red something probably wasn't a cape after all. Maybe that great sadness he mentioned is what's interfering with his memory.
Well, he would have seen the fox chamber behind the amazing Ninetales. What red object could he have seen there that would have been that shocking? I know. Could it have been... Mr. Mayor, was the red thing you saw this?
Okay, so what's something to do with the crime scene? Okay, so the crime photo. So here we have blood. Oh yes, he got hit in the head. So maybe he saw the blood coming down from his head. Take that.
Something red that could produce a deep sadness. Could it be, Mr. Tenma, that what you saw was the alderman's blood? Either way, it works.
Blood. Why, yes, it was blood.
What is he freaking out about?
It's all coming back to me now. It wasn't a red cape that I saw. It was lying behind the amazing Ninetales, the alderman's bloody body.
Oh my god.
What?
So he wasn't Ninetales. There goes his noise level. Wow.
His noise level is down to 0. I think he's remembered everything now.
Does this mean the amazing Ninetales killed Alderman QB?
But the alderman was the amazing Ninetales, so how exactly would that work?
Hey, I asked you first.
Well, Mr. Justice, you sure know how to make a complicated matter even more complicated.
True, but at the time of the crime, our client was in the Forbidden Chamber. Moreover... Hoy, don't you think this strange? The little scamp has already confirmed her father to be in the Fox Chamber, but she said not about seeing the amazing Ninetales there. You just had to bring that up, didn't you?
Jinxie didn't see LaBelle there either. It's so weird. Who really was in that room then?
Would the defendants care to share any theories with the court? Can you explain the inconsistency between the defendant's testimony and his daughter's?
I think we can.
Yes, of course, I can explain it. Because if I don't, we're in serious trouble. Not with more of your bluffs and fairy tales, I trust. Fair warning, Justice Dono. I shall have your head if you fail to explain this. What about a good old-fashioned penalty?
Well, Mr. Justice, let's see if you have a head worth keeping on your shoulders.
First of all, Mr. LaBelle was definitely in the Fox Chamber while it was locked. We also know that Mayor Tenma was in the Forbidden Chamber based on his testimony. These two facts are crucial to my explanation. So let us consider the following question. If the facts point to Florent LaBelle and the victim being there at the scene, why did Jinxie Tenma see her father, Mayor Tenma, and the victim?
A very good question indeed, and I suppose you have an answer for us.
So if he would have confessed, if he confessed to his daughter, why is he now trying to stop her?
Interesting. Sad you would be supposing wrong.
You think she could have mistaken LaBelle for the mayor?
Well, if she did, then the question is, why did she do that?
So he could have been mistaken, so he could have been disguised as him.
Well, how about that explanation, Mr. Justice? I believe the time for questions is over. The defense asserts that Florent LaBelle was at the scene of the crime. However, Jinxie Tenma has testified that she saw her father collapse there. If she has in fact misremembered the event, what could have made her do so?
LaBelle was disguised as Tenma. The figure Miss Tenma saw was not her father. It was Florent LaBelle disguised as Damien Tenma. That is a complete impossibility. Their faces are utterly unalike. How could you explain that away with a mere disguise?
Yes. They both do have incredibly distinctive faces.
Sorry if you guys hear the phone ring. Maybe the disguise completely hid his face.
I think Jinxie would have mentioned it if she couldn't see her father's face.
And if it was that sort of disguise, wouldn't she have removed it? Oh, right. Your sword is as dull as your mind, Justice Dono. Shall I show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of? I think I'll pass.
Crap, did I get hit? Are you okay, Apollo?
I'm not fine, am I? Well, now that we have the little fairy tale out of the way, your baldness, your verdict, if you will.
Mr. Justice, I believe it's time for a verdict if you have no further arguments.
What's even left for me to do?
Apollo, remember what Mr. Wright always says. When you're stuck in a tight spot, turn the case upside down.
Turn the case upside down? He does say that, doesn't he? But I don't quite see how it applies here. Still, never hurts to give it a try, I guess. Let's see. Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. And rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe it was she couldn't talk about it.
A wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He never unmasks himself in front of others. But there are matches where wrestlers battle for the right to remove each other's masks. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself.
And what about the fact that it was the amazing Ninetales who opened the door? A mask that can't be removed in front of others. Can these facts turn things around?
Maybe we should present it then. If we think that's going to turn the case upside down.
We got it all backwards.
Apollo?
I think we might have made a huge mistake. Your baldness, I see no need to further indulge them in their silly little farce. The defense is no proof. They never did and they never will.
Then it seems I must announce my verdict.
Objection!
I do have proof. Do you now?
All right, but this better be good, Mr. Justice.
We can solve the remaining riddles by turning all of our assumptions upside down. Why Jinxie Tenma mistook LaBelle for her father. Why she couldn't remove the costume or tell anyone about it in the first place. These riddles are inextricably linked to Mayor Tenma's secret identity. A shocking secret identity that will turn the entire premise of this case upside down. This piece of evidence clearly reveals Mayor Tenma's secret identity. So, brought the mask, so let's go ahead and go with that. Take that! Gah! What absolute claptrap! Poppycock! Balderdash! We thought the alderman with the amazing Ninetales and the mayor was Tenma. That's why we believe the mayor killed the alderman in his lust for Ninetales' veil. And it was the basis for the prosecution's entire case against our client. However, we got the whole thing backwards. Mayor Tenma wasn't Tenma at all. He was the amazing Ninetales.
What's this?
You best explain yourself, Justice Dono, and from where you derive such a far-fetched conclusion. Jinxie no doubt knew the true identity of the amazing Ninetales, but she couldn't tell anyone no matter what. That's why she didn't say it was the amazing Ninetales she saw passed out, even though, unbeknownst to her, it was really Thornton LaBelle in disguise.
Silence!
The accused and that disciple dandy are utterly dissimilar in physical build and voice. The little scamp would have seen the difference.
Objection!
Remember, Mr. LaBelle has his very own brand of cosmetics. Why couldn't he fake a different build, too? And anyone speaking through a mask would naturally sound different.
Silence!
Why did she not simply pull the mask off?
Objection!
A masked wrestler disguises more precious than life itself. As a huge fan of the amazing Ninetales, she would never dare unmask him. Gah! Ah! This case of mistaken identity also explains the riddle of the locked room.
Then by all means, Mr. Justice, answer it for us already.
First, Mr. LaBelle entered the room where the mayor and alderman were talking. I suspect he brought with him coffee laced with some sort of sedative. Once the alderman was out cold, that's when Mr. LaBelle killed him. Next, he took the mayor, who he had also drugged into the forbidden chamber. Then he returned to the box chamber, slipped into some of the mayor's spare clothes, and completed the disguise by donning the amazing Ninetales mask.
With his entire charade in place, Mr. LaBelle then let out a scream. The scream that led Jinxie Tenma to the scene.
Ah, so then... the person who said I killed Alderman QB was...
Yep, that was Florent LaBelle in disguise. The mayor never actually confessed. This is now more than guesswork and speculation. Now stop your jabbering. No, you twisted samurai. This time you stop your jabbering and let me finish making my case. Once Miss Tenma left the scene, Mr. LaBelle, still wearing the mayor's clothes and mask, opened the forbidden chamber, so he could drag the mayor back out into the fox chamber.
Oh, so the Amazing Ninetales the mayor saw was...
Right, it was LaBelle opening the forbidden chamber. The second time Mr. LaBelle opened the door to the forbidden chamber, he happened to catch the thieving Mr. Filch by surprise. Startled, Mr. Filch, in his Tenma Tarot disguise, ran as fast as he could away from the room. As he did, he left behind him a trail of feathers and tracks, and gave Miss Tenma the scare of her life in the hallway. With no one left to witness the events that had occurred, Mr. LaBelle then proceeded to drag the sleeping mayor back into the fox chamber.
I see. Well, that all certainly does make sense.
Then after dragging the mayor back into the fox chamber, Mr. LaBelle threw the mask out the window and fled the room.
Silence.
For this absurd theory to work, it requires the defendant be the Amazing Ninetales. However, he was the one pushing for the municipal merger. That such an individual can possibly be the Amazing Ninetales is preposterous. The mayor was blackmailed into pursuing the merger. Miss Tenma's life would have been in danger if he had openly voiced his opposition. That's why he created a secret identity as the Amazing Ninetales.
This is madness. No one could possibly hatch such an insane plot.
No one except a killer as insane as his plot, and I'd say Florent LaBelle more than qualifies.
Foolish mortal, it is at your own peril that you forget who I am.
Mayor Tenma, it's okay now. Jinxie will be safe just as soon as Mr. LaBelle is arrested. You are the Amazing Ninetales, aren't you? Oh boy.
Ha ha ha! You have quite the active imagination. Mayor Tenma is not the Amazing Ninetales.
What do you mean?
Well, has the mayor admitted to it yet?
But that's just...
And even if he did admit to such nonsense, I would reveal the truth behind Tenma Tarot right here and now.
What?
Why you would dare reveal the secret?
Ha ha ha! My good friend the Alderman told me all about it. But it wouldn't be good to expose the truth. What with the superstitions now, would it?
The truth behind Tenma Tarot? What's he talking about?
So go ahead, say it. I am the Amazing Ninetales. I dare you.
Wait. Will somebody please explain what's going on here?
Mayor Tenma will do anything to keep the truth behind Tenma Tarot a secret. A dark, terrible truth that has been kept secret by the village superstitions.
And if the mayor admits to being the Amazing Ninetales, he'll expose the truth?
Right. I won't have him walking free because of some nonsense he made up.
So what now, Justice Dono? Without the mayor's admission, your theory is as useless as you are in battle. I'll show you who's useless.
Apollo, don't you dare give up now.
I know. Your Honor, I believe Mr. LaBelle's statements warrant a thorough cross-examination. After all, the true identity of the Amazing Ninetales is the cornerstone of this case.
You do have a point there. Please answer this court, Mr. LaBelle. Is the defendant the Amazing Ninetales or not?
Alright. Here we go.
The Amazing Ninetales true identity is not Mayor Tenma. The mayor would never admit to such utter nonsense. But if he did admit to such nonsense, I would expose the truth behind Tenma Tarot right here and now. And that would bring ruin upon Ninetales Vale, just as the superstitions say.
Wait 1 second. There we go. Talk about out of the pot and into the fire. At this rate, the mayor will be found guilty for sure.
Honestly speaking, if Mayor Damien Tenma is not the Amazing Ninetales, I'm afraid I don't see... Sorry. How the defenses mesh with a case here.
Ha. And let's just leave it at that, shall we? We all know Alderman Cubia was the amazing Ninetails. Anyway, I mean, that's how Ninetails Vale made a comeback. The Alderman was so popular.
There's got to be a hole in that testimony somewhere. But I don't even know where to start.
Since we don't have any proof that the mayor is the amazing Ninetails, then we'll just have to get him to admit it himself.
But if he admits it, LaBelle's going to expose the secret behind Tenma. We are so close, I can feel it.
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Alright. Vámonos. Yeah, sorry.
This whole case only makes sense if the mayor is the amazing Ninetails. I know you used his mask to create this illusion of a locked room murder.
Silence.
Nothing more than idle speculation. You've no evidence now, have you?
Objection.
Mr. LaBelle knows what this statue originally looked like. That means he had to be in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Ha. Sorry, but I heard about the statue of Alderman Cubie. If you don't believe me, just ask him. Oh, but what's that? The Alderman's dead? Ha. Looks like the joke's on you, my sweaty little friend. Apollo, you mind if I wring his neck?
Wait in line, because I'm going first.
Tempa. Anyway.
The only nonsense here in this court is you and your assertions.
Tisk. Such anger is terrible for the skin, you know. Beauty is like a flower that blooms forth from a serene heart.
Excuse me?
I wouldn't expect a wilted peasant like you to understand. Perhaps this fragrance will help the blossom with you in bloom. Ha. You liked that, didn't you?
Enough jabbering about blossoms and whatnot. Get on with your testimony before I slice you into a bouquet of cut flowers.
Oh dear, please excuse me. As I was saying, the assertion of our wilted attorney here is utter nonsense.
You'd be arrested, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's true. I would be sacrificed upon the altar of justice despite my innocence. But what a terrible loss that would be for the future of humankind's cosmetic needs. It is a tragedy that must be averted. Defend me if you understand this.
Silence.
The only terrible loss is the time wasted by your ceaseless yammering. If you would avert the tragedy awaiting you and that vexing visage of yours, then...
Yes, I know. Get on with my testimony. Anyhow, suffice to say, should the mayor admit to the defense's nonsense, I will make good on my threat and...
And just how did you learn of this so-called truth behind Tenma?
Alderman Cubie told me all about it. The secret of the Forbidden Chamber and the truth behind Tenma.
Why would he share secrets like that with you, Mr. LaBelle?
Because of the Alderman's wife. I was looking after her while she was hospitalized. He appreciated it so much he shared the secrets with me. Wait, did he threaten the Alderman in addition to the mayor?
Don't tell me that's how he learned how to open the Forbidden Chamber.
Needless to say, I'm not above revealing the truth behind Tenma.
Do not gaze upon Tenma. Do not tell others if you see him. Isn't that what the village superstitions say?
Exactly. Telling others what Tenma looks like will reveal the truth. That's why the superstitions were written down in the first place.
And ruin coming to the village if you free him. Is that a warning not to expose the truth?
Ha. Bingo. And that truth is Tenma is a great, greed, inspiring fortune. That's what the whole battle over Ninetails Vale is all about.
Tenma is a great fortune? Come to think of it. Only that it's the greatest, great, rich, quick chance in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. Could the Tenma actually be Mayor Tenma or a Forbidden Chamber treasure? I would say it's a treasure. If we're trying to go the opposite way.
Telling the villagers that Tenma is a terrifying yokai is what has scared them away from the forbidden chamber and the treasure within. That's how the treasure has been kept secret all this time.
Ha. Well. It seems our ace attorney here has uncovered the truth that must not be revealed.
Mayor Tenma looks like he wants to keep the truth hidden as much as I do.
Tragedy is doomed to repeat itself as long as Tenma exists. That's why the secret must be protected.
As long as Tenma exists, huh? Mr. LaBelle, please add that statement to your testimony.
Aha. Alright, what do we have here? Tragedy is doomed to repeat as long as Tenma exists. Alright. So what do we have? Whoops. Tragedy is doomed. So what did we find recently? A figure discovered inside the Tenma statue. Apparently it is something a certain thief leaves at the scene of a theft. Let's try that! Objection!
Mr. LaBelle, what if Tenma no longer existed? Revealing the truth would no longer be an issue, would it?
If Tenma no longer existed? Ahahaha! What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, apparently you haven't heard. Tenma no longer exists. But I guess you didn't get to do a thorough search after the key was taken from you. Because when we searched the forbidden chamber, there wasn't any treasure there.
Really? Well, maybe you weren't looking in the right place.
Sorry, but I have proof that Tenma no longer exists. Take a look at this figure.
What do we have here? It looks like some sort of creature.
We found this in the forbidden chamber. It's an Izuki Kozo figure. The great thief Izuki Kozo used to leave them at the scene of his crimes.
Are you suggesting that Tenma has been stolen?
Yep. Phineas Filch's grandfather, a master thief, was the culprit.
And by that hideous moronic caretaker's grandfather, no less.
You!
Oh! My beautiful golden Tenma was...
The greed inspired by Tenma can no longer bring ruin upon Ninetails Vale. Isn't that right, Mayor Tenma?
The root of tragedy would indeed seem to be gone. In fact, I now recall the Alderman revealing the secret to me on the day of our meeting. He must have been speaking of Tenma, for he said to me the gold ingot was gone.
The gold ingot? You mean the treasure that is Tenma true form?
Recall, if you will, the scroll in the forbidden chamber. Tenma was the yellowish object shown there. A giant gold ingot that my nomadic ancestors bestowed upon Ninetails Vale. And in return for that gold, my ancestors did receive from Ninetails Vale land that would become Tenma Town, but drive the villagers mad with greed to that great fortune. Bitter was their greed-fueled battle. It was as if they were possessed. My ancestors' gold became as a curse upon their village, a curse of ruin. Thus it was that the Yokai Tenma came to be.
So Tenma and the village superstitions were merely fairy tales to scare people away. Fairy tale or not, Tenma made quite the mess of things.
Yes, indeed, for there is no greater monster than a mortal man's lust for gold.
Well, you know that what they say, the love of money is the root of all evil.
My ancestors did bring a terrible thing here to Ninetails Vale. A thing so terrible that Tenma, a monster just as terrible, had to be created to keep it a secret. Yet we have naught but love for the little village to which we owe our very existence. Tenma would never seek to take over Ninetails Vale in a murder. Oh my, that was quite a shocking lesson in history.
Mr. Mayor, now that we know Tenma no longer exists, are you ready to admit your secret? You are the amazing Ninetails, aren't you?
No, don't do it! Please, no!
Wow.
Begone, you demented demon! Oh, now where was I? The Golden Lord of Yokai, the amazing Ninetails, is indeed me!
And that means Jinxie.
Yes?
The man wearing the mayor's clothes who you saw collapse in the Fox Chamber, was he wearing the amazing Ninetails mask?
Uh-huh. That's what made me think it was Papa.
He said he was going to reveal his secret identity to Alderman QB that day, so it really wasn't Papa I saw there, was it?
It was Florence's idea from the start. He advised me to reveal my secret identity to the Alderman.
Yeesh, Rube Goldberg machines have less elaborate setups than LaBelle's scheme.
You may rest easy now, little Jinxie. That monster's deception is through. Caw, 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 caw.
The true facts behind this case have finally come to light. Mayor Tenma did not kill Alderman QB, but Florent LaBelle did.
How dare you, peasant?
Ah! 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 No!
Boom shakalaka.
Oh, come on!
Justice Tono, you should at least have a real blade in your hands if you desire to cross swords with me, or have you mistaken this battlefield for a training ground?
What's this guy want now?
Evidence is like a razor-sharp blade that cuts through the bone as though it were butter, but you have only blind guesses, a dull blade incapable of cutting even a cake.
He has you there, Mr. Justice. After all, evidence is everything in a court of law.
But
They're right. Let's see some evidence. Of course, a perfect being like me wouldn't leave any incriminating evidence behind. Ha.
This is the final battle. Just as a samurai must live and die by the sword, you will live or die by the evidence you hold. My swift blade of judgment awaits. Now present your conclusive evidence, or don't you have any?
oh crud, do I have anything conclusive? Sure.
Evidence? Oh, I have evidence.
You do?
Of course. It's just the conclusive evidence we need, too. I'm going to finally prove Mayor Tenma innocent. Here comes justice.
Whoa! This is cool! Let's review the facts. The most damning evidence against the mayor was the crime scene itself. The mayor and the victim were the only two people found in the room. Also, we all thought the alderman was killed because he was the Amazing Ninetales, but as we know now, of course, we were way off. The Amazing Ninetales is really Mayor Damien Tenma. That's why when his daughter Jinxie saw the Amazing Ninetales collapse in the scene, she mistook him for her father. Those are the facts as we have revealed. However, Mr. LaBelle asserts that he did not leave any evidence of the scene of the crime, but he didn't say anything about evidence outside the crime scene. Maybe he isn't as clever as he thinks he is. Does any of the evidence found outside the crime scene provide any clues? Hand cream or Amazing Ninetales mask? Let's go with the mask! This is so sweet! A clue inside the mask? Oh, I know, the Amazing Ninetales mask. It was found washed up along the river. What sort of clue does that mask hold? White hair? Yep, white hair. White hair in the mask. This is sweet! And what about the hair left in the mask? Who does it belong to? Rex QB or Florent LaBelle? It's gotta be Florent LaBelle. The white hair is LaBelle's. Oh right, that hair is Florent LaBelle's. Yes, now that's what I call conclusive evidence. That was awesome! That was really awesome! Holy crap!
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have any conclusive evidence to present to this court?
Of course I do. Observe this mask, if you will.
That mask? How is that conclusive evidence?
It's not the mask itself, but the white hair inside it. We originally thought it belonged to Alderman Rex QB.
Yes, but the Amazing Ninetales, as we now know, is Mayor Tenma, so...
That is correct. So the question is, whose hair could this be? And the answer to that is the last person to have worn it before it was discarded. That would be you, Mr. Florent LaBelle.
What are you talking about? I never had any white hair like that.
It would appear your coupe de grace failed to hit its mark. This freakish fop is not the white hair type, because he's busy being one ludicrously garish color another.
No, Prosecutor Blackquill. It's you who has made a fatal error.
What?
Remember where this mask was found? Washed up by the side of the river? With that in mind? This last piece of evidence will solve all of the remaining riddles. That hairspray makes some, hair color that washes out with water. It's Florent LaBelle's own brand. Take that!
That's...
What is that?
This is Mr. LaBelle's own private brand of hair color. It washes out with just water. The court will also recall that the amazing Ninetales mask washed up along the side of the village river with white hair inside it.
What's this? Are you saying that preening peacock's hair color is...
That's exactly what I'm saying. Mr. LaBelle's hair color is a freaky work of fiction. But thanks to the river flowing through Ninetales Vale, we now have a real life expose. Ah! The white hair in this mask is conclusive evidence proving you're the real killer. A DNA test is all we need to prove it, and we both know we'll get a match. Admit it! Thorn LaBelle! You were the one who killed Alderman Rex QB! You peasant, how dare you! Ah! You profane my beauty! Oh my god! Holy crap, that's a lot of spray. My makeup! Oh my god. Oh my god. Hello, this is LaBelle. What? The project is off? This is LaBelle. The sponsors have pulled out? LaBelle speaking. I'm fired? You mean I'm no longer Mayor Tenma's aide? Hello, this is LaBelle. What? There's a stratospheric damages claim against me? $100 million? I'm finished, washed up, stick a fork in me, I'm done! Oh my god. This is preposterous. I, Simon Blackwell, defeated. Order in the court. Wow.
Well, this is quite the unexpected outcome. I must hand it to you, Mr. Justice. You really turned this case on its head, just like that other lawyer, Phoenix Wright.
Wait, that was a compliment, right? Prosecutor Blackwell, what have you done with Thorn
LaBelle?
The defaced man is withered like a flower without water. One of the officers is currently tending to him with the sprinkler.
Wouldn't that just wash even more of his makeup off?
Allow me to explain the actions of the guilty party in detail. The motive, of course, was to steal the gold ingot known as Tenma. However, few are allowed into the manor due to its cultural ties to Ninetales Vale. LaBelle set in motion plans to gain access to the manor and the gold within via the merger, but the efforts of the amazing Ninetales saw those plans come to a halt. And thus LaBelle murdered the Alderman and attempted to pin the blame on Mayor Tenma.
I see, but what I still can't comprehend is why would he go after the gold in the first place? Mr. LaBelle doesn't look like someone who is in need of financial aid.
LaBelle hid his past well, much like he hid his beauty with makeup. He's mired in debt. Debt due to pouring money into a brand only he could love, which is why he sought the gold with such ferocity. Too bad for him, someone else had gotten to hit first anyway.
I see. Very well then. I believe it's time I declared a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Damien Tenma,
not guilty. And we have defeated episode 2 of Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. Yeah, baby. Haha, sucker.
Court is adjourned.
Boom. That's how it's done. Oh, baby. All right. We did it, guys. Now it's time to celebrate. That was some seriously good lawyering, Apollo. Even I didn't see that coming. Just got lucky, I guess. You banished Tenma from Ninetales Vale like you were some kind of exorcist. There's still one thing I don't understand. How come Mr. LaBelle didn't kill Mayor Tenma too? He could have set it up so the mayor murdered the alderman and then died from a counterattack. That would have removed at least one possible fly from the ointment. I was wondering about that too, but I have a hunch LaBelle was biding his time. He was planning on exposing the Amazing Ninetales' true identity himself. Huh? But why? Because the mayor was the Amazing Ninetales. Had LaBelle succeeded in framing Mayor Tenma for the alderman's murder, the wrestler's popularity would have plummeted once his identity was revealed. Oh, I get it. If the Amazing Ninetales was just killed, he'd die a hero, but if he was proved a villain, his fans would abandon him, making the merger that much easier. Right. That's when the merger was complete and everything cooled down, he'd be able to search the Forbidden Chamber at his leisure.
What an insanely intricate plot.
Caw, 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 caw. A most excellent job clearing my name. A feat worthy of the Demon Lord's approval.
Why are you acting like Tenma again?
Let this be of no concern to you.
How can it not concern me?
Tenma, be gone!
Ah! Jinxie, seems like ages since I've laid eyes on you.
Papa, you're finally back.
Yes, it would seem Tenma is no match for you. Ha ha ha.
I'm not scared of that silly yokai anymore.
Your father's a free man now, Jinxie. Isn't that great?
Thank you for all you've done. Seeing you guys in action, it made me feel like I don't have to be afraid anymore.
Wait, is Jinxie actually smiling?
This is all thanks to you two. Too bad the Amazing Ninetales will have to retire, though.
Aw, how come?
Once everyone hears I'm the Amazing Ninetales, my fan base will nosedive. After all, I'm not the most popular of people, another reason for my secret identity. I don't see how I could possibly continue.
Hehe, I think you've misjudged yourself. Take a look outside.
Say, now that you mention it, what's all that noise out there? A big crowd gathered outside the courthouse once the news broke?
Seems they want to get a glimpse of Mayor Damien Tenma, the man behind the mask, and to root for your return to the wrestling ring.
Rooting? For me? But I thought I was nothing more than a male factor in their eyes.
The only one who really matters is Jinxie. Show her how cool you really are. Yeah, you're the coolest when you're out there fighting in the ring, Papa.
Jinxie.
Here. I think you'll be needing this. Oh, let's give him his mask. Take that.
Thank you. Now, if you would excuse me. I don't want to keep my fans waiting.
Let's check it out. Oh my god! Yeah. Wow!
Ninetales fail forever!
I sure hope they can settle the problems between Tenma and Ninetales Vale. Me too. I'm sure they'll be fine. After all, the blackmailer/killer is behind bars and the merger's no longer an issue. Plus, the Amazing Ninetales is obviously still a hit, and I suspect Ninetales Vale will be too. And it's all because we believed in our client, just like you said. Okay, people, now that we've got that one in the bag, let's go get something to eat. I'm starving. Sounds good. I've been so nervous I haven't eaten since yesterday. Better keep eating, Apollo, or you might have to start looking up at me. Huh? I'm definitely past my growth phase, and you should be about past yours too. Are you kidding me? Oh, that was him. Are you kidding me? I'm just getting started. Ready or not, it's face stuffing time. Keep eating like that, and the only direction you'll grow is sideways. Very funny, but I've got a hollow leg. I can eat as much as I want without gaining an ounce. Really? Well, I can't wait to see this. Calories? Ha! Just let them try to stick on me. Alright, you two. Let's get going before the old man closes shop. Well, Dude's Noodles isn't an all-night stand, you know. Hey, I remember that. I'm Mr. Wright. Let's go. I've been waiting to have a bowl from there ever since Mr. Wright told me about them. Well, what are we waiting for? The noodles are on me today, so I expect some serious eating from you two. Yay, thanks, boss. I won't let you down. Athena has no idea what she's getting into. Mr. Eldune's noodles are so hot and salty. 2 bowls would kill a man. That was our first case together, and it felt like nothing could bring us down after that. The dark age of the law seems so distant, so relevant to our small, cozy office. But little did I know
that it had been lurking all along, right there behind us. The first time it made itself known was during the murder at Themis Legal Academy. That's the outfit we have for her. That case would mark the twilight before the dark, cold night that was to come.
And that is it for episode 2 of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. A new episode has been added. Episode 3, Turnabout Academy. Alright, so we'll go ahead and save our game here. Yes. So now we're on episode 3, Turnabout Academy. So that should be pretty interesting. So maybe we'll put on that outfit for Athena for this next episode. We'll see. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for part number 6 of our Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies on the Nintendo 3DS. I'm Zachman18, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video, coming soon. Objection!